Hey guys, Jeremy Lou Photography. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I am very excited to bring this edit to life. First off, if you haven't yet, please give me a subscribe on the channel. I've been gaining a lot of attention lately, and that's very exciting. My goal is 1,000 likes, 1,000 subscribers, a whole bunch of likes onto this. So if you haven't yet, please subscribe. And if this video helps you in any possible way, please give me a like on the video. We are doing a edit from a wedding I shot up on the top of Northstar at Zephyr Lodge last weekend. My settings are above, and this is all done in Lightroom, and this is a raw file from a Canon 5D Mark IV. I'm shooting this at with a 35 Sigma, 1/25 of a second at f2.0 and ISO 100. My goal with this was for that 2.0 to blur everything out in the background, to change that depth of field. And just by looking at this, you can kind of see the trees are kind of blurred out right there. So we're going to do a quick edit here. I'm going to try to make this under 10 minutes. So if you guys have any questions or comments, please write them below. And also, if you have a second, please read the description of the channel. And that way you can learn a little bit more about me and what I do and who I is. So we're going to start this. This is completely raw file. So we're going to go into what I've labeled as J style. And what J style is it's a little bump in contrast, a little bump in clarity and vibrance, a little bump in sharpness, and then a little bump in our reds and our yellows. And that's my go-to edit for all of my style. It's a preset that I've created that I've kind of done a time in and time out on every single photo. So I decided to create an edit, and that's how I start most of my wedding photos in particular, and a lot of my portrait shots, but my portrait shots I get to play a little bit. So we're starting with that. As you can tell, the image is very dark in itself. My goal with this is to show that cool sunset in the back, but without modifying too much of my subject. So what I'm going to do is just bump up the background just a little bit, or the whole image, by just upping my exposure. I'm using my palette system here in my Wacom tablet. From then, we're going to just up the clarity just a little bit more. I always try to make sure that I do the entire image of everything first before I go in and start brushing things out. So we're going to bump this baby up to maybe like 36. That's what it looks like. It looks good there to me. And then I want to pull the highlights down just a touch here in the back, just because we did have a smoky day. I was a little blown out, so you can kind of see what happens with the background here. So we're going to play with that just a little. And I love this little glow that's happening on them, and that's my goal. My goal is to keep that right there. So that feels good to me to start. We're going to go into here. We're going to open our brush up. And the first thing I want to do is I want to play with my exposure a little bit. So we're going to dodge and burn. So I'm going to dodge, which is add a little bit of brightness to certain areas of the image. And all I do is I take my dodge, and it ups my exposure to 50. To 0.50. So what I'm going to do is just kind of take my brush here and kind of brush on all this little white, on these white little flowers, which are actually weeds, which are pretty weeds, right? I want to keep the silhouette of the trees there. That's my goal. That's why I'm not exposing the whole image. So I'm just going to kind of paint a little bit here. I'm going to paint, and I'm even going to paint a little bit on my couple because I want their exposure to pop up. And this is just a rough paint, guys. So nothing too crazy. Now, this image isn't as close to my client as possible. The beauty with the 5D Mark IV is I'm shooting at ISO 100, but even if I was shooting higher up, I wouldn't get any noise on this. So I don't have to worry too much about bringing down the noise resolution at all. So we're going to kind of play with that. So I love that. And then the cool thing is I can come here and just kind of play with this little, instead of doing that actually. You know, I'm going to show you guys how to do this since you guys are probably just building this. But you can kind of bring it up or down. So the further I bring it up, the more mistakes you see that I make. Oh. So I'm going to bring this maybe to like just a little bit bright there, just a little bit brighter. We're going to kind of bring this up. So I'm not really liking how it looks on my subjects. So what I'm going to do is take this little erase tool, and we're just going to erase everything we put onto them. So we're going to bring their exposure back down to what it was originally. And it may feel super dark when you see it, obviously, because we're bringing all this down here. Notice how these flowers got a little darker too. I'm not too worried about it because I'm going to do something just a little bit different here. So I'm going to create a new... Oh, I'm going to sneeze. It's going to happen. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm cool. So what we're going to do now is hit a new brush. Nope. And then we're actually just now going to repaint on them. I really want... I don't know if I want that, actually. Let's bring this baby up. Perfect. I want this very soft look. All right. Ignore what I just said. We're not going to paint that. And this is the process of thinking, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to vignette this just a little, bring the focus into my subjects right there. Just a little bit. I'm loving the way this looks, but I feel like I need to do more. And that's usually how I feel. So I'm going to up this exposure on this whole image just a little bit here. And always tell the difference, guys. You can always do this little cool backslash button here. And it'll go to the before and then after. So you can kind of see we've done a significant amount already from what we got. I just don't want to do too much. I don't want to lose that sky. So what I'm going to do now is instead I'm going to burn. So we're going to go into our brush tool here, and we're going to go to burn. I'm just going to find our regular burn brush here. I'm going to make this baby big. Right? We're going to make this baby big. Oh, my bar's left. And I'm just going to paint all of this right here. All of this stuff. And what this does is it reduces the exposure on everything that I'm painting. And it's not too significant at this point. So we're just going to evenly kind of do this. And we'll see where we actually painted here. So my computer runs a little slow when I'm doing both editing software. So you can kind of see what I just did. Right? And then from there we can actually bring this down just a little. I'm not a big fan of the brushes or the scale itself, so I always like to do this -10 thing, just hitting down. Oh, there we go. So we're doing this without making it look too processed. Even that up right here. Dude, I love this. Alright, this is feeling really, really good to me. So I'm kind of playing with all this here. Maybe just some of this. Just a little, and we're just kind of doing that. I'm actually going to erase this because I want to see these trees again. I want to see these trees. So we're just going to do a nice erase of this. Maybe up to there. There we go. That's feeling good. So look at these little highlights here on top. I love that because it matches these. Again, these are just quick little playing and edits. I'm not going to live in front of my computer. Anything else I needed to do, I would kind of do on Photoshop a little bit more. But looking at this image, guys, so the cool thing is with the brush, I can up the exposure of the whole image. But if I need to, I can bring this down a little bit more in the back so I can see that color still. Right? Perfect. So I am super happy about this. Let me just adjust my vignette here just a little, just so it's not too vignette-y. Awesome, guys. We're at 8 minutes for this. I love this. I'm super happy. This is the before. This is the after. This is the before. This is the after. Whoa, looking on your screen, it looks a little different, a little weird up here. Like right up here. But I think that's just kind of how it is. Let's see if I can just match. Oops. Wrong button. Just show you guys what I can do. I'm going to go Edit, Undo, or Command Z. There we go. I want to even this out just a touch, guys. Just a touch. On my screen, it looks different, and when I'm looking on the recording screen, it looks a little bit different. So I'm just going to make this better for you guys, and I might go back later just to fix a few things here. Awesome. That looks a little cleaner. I'm editing through your screen. Cool. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, if this has helped in any possible way, please give me a like on the page, on the video, and then a subscribe on the page, on the channel. But hope you guys are having a good day. Send me some comments. Let me know what you guys think. Talk to you later.